Last week, we had a conversation of some things you can do if you are experiencing some type of career transition or job loss and things of that nature. And this week, I was supposed to speak for what the entrepreneurs can do versus the employees. But I want to put something a little bit in between that. And I want to talk about the importance of looking at yourself as a product versus a position. And this is whether you're an entrepreneur or you're someone who's interested in working for a company. So when you think about this, I want you to think about, how do you make yourself look great in your industry, regardless of what company you work for? Companies will replace you easily. We understand that. So you want to make sure that you are out online looking presentable and important to any company that's interested in you. You are a product. You are not a position. And if you consider yourself like that, it's going to be a lot easier to transition from being the person who's searching for jobs versus someone who's being contact for positions, jobs, or opportunities. So I want you to think about yourself as a product. If you were to put you on shelves, what would you need? You'd probably need a website. You may need some online, some social that explains what you do, and you need to talk about it and be a thought leader in that industry. Think about things that your industry says is true and you completely disagree. That's what I want to encourage you to do for yourself. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, I don't feel like doing it. I get it, right? But it's getting to the point you're not going to have a choice. The way this technology is working and how competitive things are going to get, it's important that in your industry, you need to be known. What I don't want is you're looking at this video 3 years from now saying, dang, I should have done that. Because here's the thing, you cannot create an online brand overnight. That is something you have to put work into. So even while you're searching or doing this career transition, you also need to give evidence to the online world that you're able to do what you do. Because this is the difference between you trying to find jobs that are available versus people reaching out to you for opportunities. Because there is a difference between you being a brand, a professional brand online in your industry versus being an employee who does not have an online presence. And for a moment, I want you to humor me, if you will. Let's say you have this woman, her work is impeccable, she's smart, she's brilliant. She comes in, she does what she needs to do, and she's very good at what she does. But she's invisible online. Then, let's say we have another woman. She reaches out to her employer, asks if she can write any articles for the websites in her industry. She has social media presence and profiles that contribute to her brand. And she's written white papers in her industry. She writes articles for her corporation that has her name associated with it online. She has various social media profiles that contribute to her professional brand. She's maybe even interviewed people in the industry. She's visibly online. She's done a variety of things to show that she is the person to know in her industry. So if either of these women are up for a position, the same position for the same company, who do you think they're going to consider? So let's say you want to either get a job or contract work with a particular industry. You can literally create a podcast geared toward that industry. So let's say it's cosmetic dentists. Couldn't you interview cosmetic dentists on a podcast or write articles about them? That will give you the direct lead you need to speak to the actual person who makes the decisions. And you're giving value to the community. Now you can decide, do you want to ask them about their business techniques? Do you want to talk to them so they can give information to possible students? Whatever it is, however you want to direct it. But you can be the person. It's important to think outside the box. If there's a particular industry, how can you specifically add value based on your skill set to the audience you wish to serve? And this is whether you want to work with them as an employee again, or if you want to do contract work or get their business. Every time I may see someone online or business I'm interested in working with, I lead with what I could potentially do for them. I do not ask them to give me anything. That is how you build strong relationships. Like, even think about, have you ever met someone that every time you meet them, they always want something? And after a while, you try to avoid them. No one wants to feel like you are reaching out to them just because you want something. So I'm asking you that in your networking or your process of building professional and even personal relationships, that you lead with you wanting to give value to that person. Your blessings or the universe, it may not even come from that individual. It may be someone that they can introduce you to. Go into relationships where both of you all can equally win, but lead with value. This has long-term benefits, including trust and mutual respect and authenticity. you will stand out. So what does this look like in practice? So I can tell you something about what I do, and hopefully this can give you some insight of how you can probably position this in your industry. So my background is in marketing. If there was a particular company or software or whatever that I was interested in, I would go to their various online platforms to see where my expertise can help them. So let's say they have a gorgeous website, but they are very low in tutorials. This works really good for software companies. Often software companies have a benefit, but they do a terrible job of explaining that benefit or showing or demonstrating that value to their customers. So I can go to a software company and I can say, hey, I noticed that your YouTube is not SEO optimized, or it doesn't have many videos that are easy for your customer to understand the value. Would you be interested in me creating some content? I'll do it for free. Creating some content, I can do that on your brand or I can do it on my brand. Let me know if you're interested. That will initially start the conversation. And then I can offer to do X amount of videos for free, showing this part of how the software works and why it's a benefit to certain industries. Because oftentimes companies know they need to market, they may not have the staff or the expertise to do it. So because that is what my expertise is, that's what I know how to do, then I can offer that to the company initially for our initial relationship. And I'm not asking for anything. I'm just trying to create value. So think about in your industry, who could you reach out to? Who could you potentially interview? Who could you potentially provide insight or value to initially start the relationship? Develop your voice in your industry. So you're not just a position. You are the product. If you can't say why someone should pick you versus someone else, how is the business going to know? But if you've been building why someone should pick you versus someone else, then the answer is obvious. You have the evidence of why someone should pick you versus someone else. It's getting competitive out there. And I want you to go with the tools you need to make it happen. I hope that's helpful. Till next time.